What's going on, Bills Mafia? There's a lot to unpack this week, and right at the top of that list is the question that's been on a lot of people's minds. What's the plan for Maxwell Harrison once he's healthy? Because let's be real, this guy isn't just another name on the injury list. He's a potential game changer. But you don't just toss him back onto the field without making sure the moment is right. There's a timing element here, both physically and mentally. We've seen it before. Players rush back too fast, try to do too much, and it ends up hurting the team more than helping. That's not what the Bills want. They're playing the long game here. Harrison has missed a ton of reps, all of camp, all of preseason, and we're already deep into the regular season. That's a lot of missed time, and we're talking about a high-level defense that needs its corners to be completely dialed in. The mental side is just as important as the physical. But make no mistake, Harrison's ceiling is higher than what Tre'Davious White is giving you right now. There's a reason people are hyped to see this guy back out there. The hope is that once he's physically cleared, the Bills can find a way to ramp him up quickly without sacrificing stability in the secondary. That probably means a gradual return, working him in through specific packages, maybe even rotating him with White based on matchups. Think platoon style. You bring Harrison in on certain downs, maybe specific personnel groupings, let him get his feet under him, and then slowly build toward making him a full-time starter across for Christian Benford. And look, let's not act like White has been a liability. He's played 2 games this season. In those 2 games, he's been targeted just 7 times and gave up 5 catches for only 27 yards. That's not getting torched. Sure, there were a couple of third-down completions that stung a bit, especially against elite speed guys like Jalen Waddle. But if the pass rush isn't getting home, even the best corners are going to get exposed. White's been strong in run support and had that one busted contain on a corner blitz, but otherwise, he's tackled well and filled gaps. So yeah, there's reason to trust him, but Harrison could be a real upgrade in terms of athleticism and overall coverage potential. It's a delicate balance for the Bills to manage, but if they can accelerate Harrison's development and plug him in seamlessly, that could be a big win as the season progresses. And speaking of the offense, there's been some buzz around Josh Allen and the deep passing game. Should the Bills just start chucking it downfield, even into coverage, just to loosen things up? Absolutely not. That's just reckless football. Allen was pretty clear about this when he went on the McAfee show. He said teams are sitting back in soft zone coverage, and the smart move is to keep taking the underneath stuff until defenses start giving you something else. That's how you play winning football. You stay patient. You execute. You don't force throws that aren't there. And for the folks saying the Bills need to keep the defense honest, guess what? They already are. Defenses are literally giving up the underneath stuff on purpose because they don't want to get beat over the top. They're choosing their poison, and right now, death by 1,000 paper cuts seems more tolerable to them than watching Josh Allen connect on another 40-yard missile. The Bills are calling vertical plays. It's not like they've gone into a shell, but Allen's not going to launch it into double coverage just to send a message. That's not what smart quarterbacks do. And this isn't about a disconnect in the offense either. Going back to the tail end of last season, Allen has been extremely efficient in the vertical game when it's been available. If you've been watching closely, you'll notice that when the coverage gives him the shot, he takes it, and he hits it. The idea that they need to force those plays just to make something happen is outdated thinking. This is a quarterback who's matured. He's not just the gunslinger anymore. He's surgical now, and the Bills' offense is evolving to reflect that. Now, let's flip over to something that's been a bit more confusing, Curtis Samuel. What's going on there? This guy signed a 3-year, $24 million deal. That's not small money. You'd expect a guy like that to be getting 5 touches a game, minimum. But instead, he's been a healthy scratch for 3 straight games. That's wild. And look, you've got to respect the fact that the coaching staff isn't letting contracts dictate playing time. They're going with the guys who've earned it. You've got Tyrell Shavers on a minimum deal and Elijah Moore on a cheap 1-year contract getting snaps over Samuel. That tells you everything. They're not forcing anyone onto the field because of salary. And honestly, that's a good thing. You want that kind of accountability. But still, you can't ignore the optics. You don't pay a guy $8 million a year just to sit him on the bench. If he's not out there now, he's essentially depth insurance. And yeah, depth matters We've seen the injuries pile up in the playoffs before, but you can't deny this feels like a miscalculation. Maybe he doesn't fit. Maybe the coaching staff thought they were getting one thing and got something else. Whatever it is, right now it's not working. And if injuries don't hit, you're looking at a luxury piece that just didn't pan out. Shifting gears, let's talk Joey Bosa. There's been a lot of chatter about his snap count. Can a guy handle this many reps? Is he playing too much? It's a valid concern. Early in his career with the Chargers, Bosa was regularly playing 70 to 80% of the snaps. But once the injuries piled up, that number dropped. From 2022 through 2024, he averaged about 50% in the games he was actually healthy. That's a more realistic target for him at this stage. And remember, this is a different system now. The Chargers used him in a 2-point stance a lot as a stand-up outside linebacker in a 3-4 look. The Bills are running an even front. Bosa's got his hand in the dirt, playing from tighter alignments. That suits him better. He's 6'5", 280. This is a better physical fit for his game. So far, Bosa has logged 114 snaps through 3 games. That's about 38 per game. Multiply that out, and you're looking at over 600 snaps by season's end. That feels high. Closer to 30 snaps per game is probably the sweet spot. That would put him somewhere around 500 to 550 on the year, which is much more manageable and keeps him fresh when it matters, January. And here's where reinforcements could really help. Getting Michael Hoy back should lighten Bosa's load. Right now, Javon Solomon is trying to hold down that 4th defensive end spot, but he's just not producing. Only 9 snaps against Miami. You want to see guys like Landon Jackson step up, get some reps, prove they belong in the rotation. Because if you want to keep Bosa healthy and impactful, you need a real 4-man group. Not just warm bodies. You need dudes who can produce. Now let's talk about James Cook. Because if there's one thing Bills fans are starting to keep an eye on, it's how heavy the workload is becoming for the guy. Through just a few games, he's already piling up touches at a pace we haven't seen from him before. Not even close. He came into the Miami game with 34 carries, and then added another 19 in that one alone. That pace has him headed toward over 300 carries this season, which would be a jump of more than 60 attempts over his previous high. And that's just the carries. We're not even talking about receptions yet. If you step back and look at total touches, he's currently on pace for more than 350 this year. That's a big number. Last year, he had 239. The year before that, just over 100. Even going back to his college days, the jump is massive. He never topped 140 in a season at Georgia. So yeah, we're entering uncharted territory here. And the question becomes, is it sustainable? The Bills are asking him to be the guy, the engine, the reliable workhorse. And while James Cook has proven that he can be incredibly efficient, there's still a concern when it comes to durability. This isn't Derrick Henry we're talking about. James is listed at 5'11", 190. That's not a big frame, and when you start stacking touches like this over the course of a season, especially when you factor in blocking responsibilities and special teams, you have to wonder how that plays out by the time December and January roll around. If you look around the league, most of the backs who hit that 300-plus touch range are built differently. Last year, guys like Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, they all had massive workloads, but they're also 20 pounds heavier built for contact. Kyren Williams is maybe the only recent comparison in terms of size, but even he is a bit more compact than Cook. So yeah, you've got to be cautious. To Cook's credit, he's not a guy who absorbs a ton of big hits. He's shifty. He avoids taking clean shots. He knows how to make defenders miss or glance off of him. That helps. That's what gives you a little bit of optimism that he can handle this kind of volume. And to be fair, his body has adapted over time. From college to his rookie year to now, he's gradually taken on more responsibility. But still, you'd ideally like to keep him closer to that 275 mark, maybe 300 tops. Right now, he's well above that projection, and we're only a few weeks in. Part of what's feeding that volume, though, is the lack of support behind him. Ray Davis just hasn't been the factor people were hoping for. And there might be a reason for that goes beyond just scheme or execution. In the preseason, Davis talked about losing 10 to 15 pounds heading into this year. The idea, it seems, was to become a bit quicker and more versatile, to maybe mimic some of what Cook does. But the problem is, that's not really his game. What made him effective last year was that compact, physical style. He ran through tackles. He picked up tough yards. Losing that weight might have cost him the edge that made him valuable. So far, he's only had 10 total touches, and they've been underwhelming. He's averaging less than 2 yards after contact per attempt, down significantly from over 3 in college. And if you actually watch the snaps, 9 of those 10 touches came in a blowout win against the Jets. 1 carry against Baltimore, 0 against Miami. The coaching staff clearly isn't seeing enough to trust him with real game-time opportunities, and that's a problem. Because until someone steps up behind Cook, the Bills are going to keep leaning on him heavily. And as we've already talked about, that could backfire down the stretch. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's circle back to the defense because there are real concerns there too, especially when it comes to third downs. Against Miami, the Bills did a great job of getting the Dolphins into third down situations, 15 of them, to be exact. That's where you want to be as a defense. But when Miami converts 10 of those 15, that's a huge red flag. The issue isn't just that you're giving up completions, it's that you're not finishing drives. You're earning the right to get off the field and then letting it slip through your hands. And yes, it's fair to say this defense is in transition. New scheme elements are being introduced. More man coverage, more blitzing, even some 3 linebacker looks that we didn't see much of in recent years. But you've also got critical pieces missing. Maxwell Haareston and Michael Hoy aren't out there. Larry Ogunjobi has been unavailable. And you've got rookies playing significant snaps on the defensive line. It's going to take time for everything to click. Even Gregory Rousseau is banged up. He's playing through a bone bruise that he picked up early in the season. And Ed Oliver missed the last 2 games. That's your top interior disruptor. So you're not just dealing with scheme shifts, you're missing your best personnel at key spots. That matters. But despite all that, the bones of this defense are still solid. They've been getting opponents into third and long. They've kept scoring in check. Against a high-powered offense like Miami's, that's saying something. Now it's about cashing in on those opportunities. Winning those 1 or 2 key downs that flip field position or force a punt. That's where the margin lives. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. The sports world is buzzing with controversy and speculation this week as tensions flare across multiple leagues. In the NFL, a recent comment from Kansas City Chiefs coach has set social media ablaze, and it seems no team is safe from scrutiny. Sources close to the Chiefs reveal that their head coach didn't mince words when discussing last week's matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. In a private conversation that somehow found its way to reporters, he reportedly questioned the Eagles' discipline and hinted that their recent victories might not be as clean as fans think. While no official statement has been released, the remarks have already sparked outrage among Eagle supporters, with hashtags demanding an apology trending within hours. Rumor has it that the league office may even step in if tensions escalate further, although insiders suggest this could also be a strategic mind game aimed at unsettling a team poised for the playoffs. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, another NFL firestorm is brewing. Miami Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel reportedly told Confidence that their recent game against the Buffalo Bills was stolen. The allegation, whispered in locker rooms and online forums, suggests controversial officiating may have influenced the outcome of the highly anticipated clash. While McDaniel has yet to publicly confirm these explosive remarks, the comment has fueled speculation among fans and analysts alike, with debates over fairness, replay decisions, and potential league scrutiny dominating sports shows. Some insiders hint that this could set the stage for a dramatic showdown if the Dolphins and Bills meet again before the season's end, turning what was already a fierce rivalry into a full-blown narrative of controversy. Over in Major League Baseball, the rumor mill has erupted with news from the Bronx. Julio Rodriguez, the rising superstar, has reportedly signed with the New York Yankees, sending shockwaves across the American League. While details are scarce and negotiations remain under wraps, Sources suggest this move could dramatically shift power balances, forcing rival teams to reconsider strategies heading into the next season. Fans and commentators alike are speculating how Rodriguez's arrival will impact the Yankees lineup, with whispers of potential trades, lineup reshuffles, and even a surge in ticket demand. The buzz is so intense that some believe the American League may never be the same, with debates over dominance, pitching challenges, and offensive firepower already filling sports radio airwaves. Taken together, these stories create a perfect storm of intrigue, rivalries, and speculation. Whether it's the Chiefs' pointed comments about the Eagles, McDaniel's alleged accusations against the Bills, or the blockbuster buzz surrounding Julio Rodriguez and the Yankees, one thing is clear. The sports world is alive with drama, and fans can hardly keep up with the twists and turns. Every rumor, every sidelong glance, every locker room whisper could spark the next viral controversy. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.